Yeah.
Okay, so sadly you're divorced, but thank God you're not with a Muslim. But you know what an idda is, right?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a pretty intense debate titled, "A Muslimah is disgusted knowing about gross immorality in Islam," featuring some Shamoun and a female Muslim debater. This debate brings up some heavy topics around morality in Islam, and the conversation gets emotional as both sides try to make their points clear. Let's break it all down and see what went down. Stick around for the full
question, but can you help me or guide me into why Christianity or why not Islam? I guess that's a good start.
Well, number one, even let's put Christianity aside. You want to follow a religion which legalizes such gross, such evil, perversion, and immorality?
Exactly.
Mariam, we didn't ask for your opinion, sister. I think I gotta throw you out.
No, please, astaghfirullah. I won't. I just can't stand that prophet.
Okay, but it's okay, Mariam. Take it easy. Let me talk to her. Mariam, I know you need attention. I want to have everyone say hi, Mariam, so you can be okay. Guys, say hi, Mariam. Hi. Let her speak. Let her speak. Oof. Okay, honey. All right, you're listening, honey?
Yes.
Okay. Let's put Christianity aside for now. Just from a perspective that seeks to be neutral. If God exists and He is the source of purity and holiness and truth, how then do you expect that this God would legalize and sanction all this gross immorality, such as raping captive women, even married women, sanctioning pedophilia? Did you know Islam allows for men to marry prepubescent minors, even if they haven't gone past puberty and are still young? Did you know that?
That part, I learned that today. I had no idea before today about that.
I'll show it to you. Sorry, sometimes I get into these moods because I think I have ADHD, and then Miriam is triggering it. Miriam, why are you triggering my ADHD, whatever they call it?
I'm the one who brought it up to her and showed it to her.
I like about that, man. I don't care what they say about you. You're a good person. All right, here. You ready? Here. Islam, on the basis of chapter 65, verse 4 of the Quran, Islam, even if I wasn't a Christian, the only reason why I would become Muslim, do you want to know why? If I wasn't a Christian. Even if I wasn't a Christian, the only reason I become a Muslim is for the money and the sex. Do you know that? If Christianity was false, then I'd become a Muslim because then I'd live off of Saudi Arabian oil. I'd go to Saudi Arabia, become a scholar, and have up to 4 wives and divorce them when I want to replace them with other wives and unlimited concubines for sex. I'd be living large. That's the only reason. But to follow Islam as a way of life, if I believe God exists, absolutely not. I prefer being Buddhist than a Muslim if Christianity was false. But if I was someone immoral, someone like Andrew Tate, who wants to objectify women and subjugate women and treat them as pieces of meat, Islam's the religion. Why do you think Andrew Tate becomes Muslim? Islam allows men to objectify women, to treat them as property that they own, and they can plow into them the way they want. That's in Islam. Did you know that, honey? Do you know that?
No.
I'm going to show you that. Wait, William wants to say something. Yes, exactly. That's what I've been saying.
Exactly. I've been saying this. No one listens to me.
Exactly. Okay, now let's read it. You ready? Now I'm going to show you that in Islam, women are property that men own, and men can plow into you the way they want. You have no choice but to submit. Did you know this? It's in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 223. Men can enter you and plow into you because you're their field that they own, and you don't have a say-so in the matter. Here, I want you to see Islam QA. Secondly, marrying a young girl before she reaches the age of adolescence is permitted in Sharia. Indeed, it was narrated that there was scholarly consensus on this point. Right there, you should throw up. Right there, you're told that in Islam, you can marry a girl who hasn't even reached adolescence.
For what reason? Like, what is the point of that?
What?
What is the point of that?
Muhammad was a pervert who married a 9-year-old, so he becomes the example for others to follow, and it's in the Quran. That's the point. Muhammad, he's the point. Now, what do they quote to prove that Islam allows marrying girls who haven't reached the age of adolescence? Chapter 65, verse 4. Here. And those of your women as have passed the age of monthly courses, for them the iddah. Now, do you know what an iddah is or no?
Yes. In fact, I'm divorced, and it was the worst process for a Muslim woman to go through. And I think that was the starting point where I started. I questioned a lot for like throughout childhood, and I went to an Islamic school my whole life. I mean, from first grade to the end of high school. And you're not really allowed to ask questions. And if there's a good question, they say Allah knows or Allah did that for a reason.
Allahu alam.
Yeah.
Allahu alam ya ukhti.
Yeah.
Okay. So sadly, you're divorced, but thank God you're not with a Muslim. But you know what an iddah is, right? Now, since you experienced that and it was hell for you, may the Lord have mercy on you and bring both of you to the true God revealed in Jesus. We'll get there. The iddah period, you had to wait 3 monthly cycles, correct?
I didn't wait anything, but yes.
Oh yeah, you didn't care. You're in America. But if you're living in a Muslim country, not in America, you would have to wait 3 monthly cycles, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, because I'm sharing because there is no iddah if the man hasn't consummated marriage. So if you were engaged, but you didn't consummate marriage, he didn't take you and sleep with you, then you don't have a waiting period. That's chapter 33, verse 49. So now understand the context of this verse, and I'm going to give you Bukhari and all the scholars. They're all going to agree. This is the interpretation. No one denied it until modern times because of embarrassment. It's answering the question, what if we have women who are menopause? They don't have their monthly courses, and we divorce them. How long should they wait? Count 3 months. But then they ask the other question. Well, what if we marry young minors who haven't even had their periods yet? They wait 3 months too. This is how sick their religion is here. And those of your women as have passed the age of monthly courses, see, they're menopause. For them, the iddah, if you have doubt, is 3 months. And for those who have no courses, why? They haven't had their, because they are still immature. Their iddah is 3 months. Chapter 65, verse 4 of the Quran.
Was that in the Quran?
Yes. Chapter 65, verse 4 of the Quran.
Wow.
Surah al-Talaq. Talaq, talaq, talaq.
I'm the one that gave the talaq, so.
Oh, you did? Why, you bold little lioness. Only in America. You do it in Pakistan or India or Arabia. Off with your toes, man.
Yeah. It was horrible. I was trying to contact imams, fiqh scholars, even the Sharia Board of America, and nobody wanted to help me because I'm a woman trying to get a divorce.
So you had to give part of your mahar back, right?
That broke.
You didn't even do that?
He didn't even give me a penny. I had to forgive
dirty little baboon. All right,
Yeah.
but okay, so you divorce him. Okay, now let me show you what the scholars say, and I'm going to give you some more information. Then we can go from there and talk about Jesus. Up to you. Now watch here how disgusting this is. So who is the example that you can marry a young girl who hadn't reached puberty? Muhammad. Here, look, this is a Muslim source. In this verse we see that Allah has made the iddah in the case of divorce of a girl who does not have periods. Why? Because she is young and has not yet reached puberty. 3 months. This clearly indicates that Allah has made this a valid marriage with young girls, huh? Allah did it in the Quran. But who's the example? Now look at the example they give. This comes from Al-Bukhari and Muslim, the two Sahihain. It was narrated.
I'm shaking right now. I never knew that.
You're shaking?
Yeah, that's really bad.
May God show you how filthy this religion is, and you're going to see how beautiful Jesus is.
Amen.
Now watch. It was narrated from Aisha that the Prophet married her when she was 6 years old. He consummated the marriage with her when she was 9, and she stayed with him for 9 years. Now here is how bad it gets. Not only did he marry her at 9, and she was playing with dolls. I'm going to show you she was playing with dolls. That's how young she was. But then he left her widow at 18, and the Quran says no one could marry any of his wives till they die. So he left this 18-year-old childless without the possibility of ever marrying and have a family, and she lived for years later, all the way into her 50s and 60s. I have the exact age. And this is what he did to her. And this is from Bukhari and Muslim. Now, the Prophet married Aisha when she was 6 years old and consummated marriage when she was 9. Again, who? Al-Bukhari, Muslim. But Muslim says she was 7 when he did the marriage contract. Now, don't forget though, these ages are based on lunar calendar. So in a lunar calendar, a 7-year-old may be, according to the solar calendar, as young as 6, a 6 as young as 5. Because they're going by the lunar calendar, not the solar calendar. Keep that in mind. Now, look what it says. Look what the scholars say. Now, get ready to throw up and puke. The fact that it is permissible to marry a young girl does not mean that it is permissible to have intercourse with her. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have children, send them out of here. I'm being honest. Send them out of here. Rather, that should not be done until she is able for it. Now, ladies, you understand what this means or no?
Yes.
Okay, good, you understand. For those who don't, when you marry a girl who's young, maybe 6, 7, 8, you cannot consummate, penetrate, unless she can handle it. If she can't, then you can do everything else but penetrate, but at 9 you can then penetrate her. That's what Islam teaches. Here it is. Rather, that should not be done until she is able for it. For that reason, the Prophet, see again, he's the example, delayed the consummation of his marriage to Aisha. Because she was 6, she can handle a 51-year-old at that time. He was 51 to penetrate her. So he didn't. He waited till she was 9, and that's when he penetrated her. And Nawawi, who is the
I know that you don't want to hear about like the... So I talked about this with my friend today, and she said he waited until she wanted it.
No, he waited until she could handle it. I just read to you. I just read it to you. And Nawawi, who's the commentator of Sahih Muslim, with regard to the wedding party of a young married girl at the time of consummating the marriage, if the husband and the guardian of the girl agree upon something that will not cause harm to the young girl, then that may be done. Right? Okay. If they disagree, then Ahmed and Abu Ubayd say that once a girl reaches the age of 9, then the marriage may be consummated even without her consent. Did you hear that? Without her consent. But that does not apply in the case of who's younger. Now, understand again what this means. If a girl is younger than 9, then you cannot have the man consummate marriage because it'll harm her. If she can handle it, so be it. But once she's 9, it doesn't matter. Why? Because Aisha was 9 when Muhammad deflowered her. Okay, now, look at the scholars who say this. Malik. If you don't know about Sunni Islam, folks, you have 4 main schools of Islamic jurisprudence, madhahib. After Malik, the Maliki school, the Shafi school, Abu Hanifa, which is the Hanafi school, and then you have the Hanbali school, Ahmad ibn Hanbal. So these 3 scholars have schools named after them. Malik and Al-Shafi and Abu Hanifa said, the marriage may be consummated when the girl is able for intercourse, which varies from one girl to another. So no age limit can be set. This is the correct view. How sick are you to hear this?
Very sick.
You understand? There are Muslim countries where you have young girls who are going through this right now because they follow Muhammad and Sharia.
Yeah.
Like in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, even in Saudi Arabia, and there's nothing these girls can do about it. So watch here. There's nothing in the hadith of Aisha to set an age limit or to forbid that in the case of a girl is able for it before the age of 9, or to allow in the case of a girl is not able for it and has reached the age of 9. Did you see it? If a girl is not 9, she can handle penetration by a grown man. Do it. Enjoy it. But if not, you got to wait till 9. Al-Dawoodi said Aisha was reached, notice, physical maturity. He's not saying she was pubescent, meaning her body handled a 54-year-old from deflowering her. Now let me show you where it says that Aisha was playing with dolls. You ready? All you do is sunnah.com, you put Aisha dolls. Beautiful. Thank God for modern technology. That's why Islam's being destroyed, because of modern technology. And because people can watch this in the privacy of their own home, they're seeing this and millions are leaving Islam. Glory to the Lord Jesus Christ. Here you go. First one I clicked on, let's see where it is. Sahih Bukhari, volume 8, book 73, hadith 151. Watch here. I used to play with dolls in the presence of the Prophet. And my girlfriends also used to play with me. This is how young she was. When Allah's Messenger used to enter my dwelling place, they used to hide themselves. But the Prophet would call them to join and play with me. You see what a sick human being this guy is? When it was time for him to visit her in the home that he provided, to have sex with her, she would play with dolls and her friends would come and would hide. Say, no, come play with her. Come entertain her. And then when you go, then I'll mount her. Now, Islam forbids you to have images. So why was she allowed to have dolls with images on it? Here's why. They used to hide themselves, but the Prophet would call them to join and play with me. The playing with dolls and similar images is forbidden, but it was allowed for Aisha at that time. Why? As she was a little girl, not yet reached the age of puberty. And where they're getting this from? Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, the commentator of Fathul Bari, volume 13, page 143. See that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just speechless.
No, that's good. You need to be speechless. You need to leave this filth. But here again, let me show you another one. Sunan Ibn Majah, Sahih, sound, volume 3, book 9, hadith 1982. It was narrated that Aisha said, I used to play with dolls when I was with the Messenger of Allah, and he used to bring my friends to me to play with me. A young girl that is so young, premature, she's playing with dolls with her young friends as Muhammad mounts her in her bed at night. Okay? Let me show you some more. Let me get the one from Sahih Muslim. Here you go. Sahih, right? Here. This is Sahih Muslim, book 8, hadith 3311. Just put in the search engine, Aisha dolls. Let's read. Aisha reported that Allah's apostle married her when she was 7 years old, and she meant to say she, it's a typo, she was taken to his house as a bride when she was 9, and her dolls were with her. And when he died, she was 18 years old. This is Islam. And that's why, because of him, 65 verse 4 says Muslim men can do it. And in case they want to lie to you, and here, let me make you more disgusted. Aisha, when the day they prepared her for marriage, it says she was playing on swings with her friends. That's how young she was. Here it is. Aisha was playing on swings. What is this? Sahih, chain, Al-Albani, book 42, hadith 4917, Sunan Abu Dawud, and I'll show you that from Bukhari. When we came to Medina, the women came to me when I was playing on the swing, and my hair were up to my ears. They brought me, prepared me, and decorated me. Then they brought me to the Messenger of Allah, and he took up cohabitation with me when I was 9. Here's a girl playing with swings. Here's a girl playing with dolls. And this 54-year-old takes her into his house and deflowers her. Okay? But I'm going to show you something else. Here you go. Let's go to Bukhari. Because, you know, they like Bukhari. Auzu billah, auzu billah. Here you go. Sahih Bukhari, volume 5, book 58, hadith 234. Narrate Aisha, the Prophet engaged me when I was a girl of 6 years. We went to Medina and stayed at the home of Bani al-Harith bin Khazraj. Then I got ill. Look how young she is. She's a precocious girl, and my hair fell down. She even lost her hair. Later on, my hair grew again, and my mother, Ruman, came to me while I was playing in a swing with some of my girlfriends. What was she doing? Honey?
Playing on the swing.
Okay, now watch. She called me, and I went to her, not knowing what she wanted to do with me. She caught me by the hand and made me stand at the door of the house. I was breathless then. And when my breathing became all right, she took some water and rubbed my face and head with it. Then she took me into the house. There in the house, I saw some Ansari women, meaning some women from Medina, who said, "Best wishes and Allah's blessing and a good luck." What sick people. Then she entrusted me to them, and they prepared me for marriage. Unexpectedly, Allah's apostle came to me in the forenoon. My mother handed me over to him, and at that time, I was a girl of 9 years old. See that? I'm going to send you something to show you this is happening to this day. Sorry, let me show you. And I'm going to show you a few more, and then if you want to talk more about why it's filthy and how the Quran says if you're in jihad, you can take married women and rape them. That's in the Quran and the Sunnah. Show you that today. But I want to just get this video. I want you guys to be heartbroken. Watch her. She's not even 9. And look how young she is. I swear this is going to break your heart. This is not theory. The Muslims are doing it till this day. Till this day, it's happening. Look at this young girl. 13-year-old Wiyam, a Muslim girl, married to 29-year-old Muhammad. And his name is Muhammad. Tearfully says, the girl can't say no. It's against our culture. Muhammad smiles and says, it's love at first sight, which leads him to marry her. He wants to raise her himself. See what a filthy bastard? Okay, watch.
Yeah, my ex said that he would marry like a 12-year-old if once I left him.
Yeah. Your ex, you see? Because he's a dirty dog.
Yeah, and he's 40.
Listen to what's going to happen. She's crying. Look at her, angel. Poor girl, man. How the hell do you lust for a woman like this? Sir? What's the hardest thing you're going through? Being married at this age. Did you hear it? Why didn't you tell Dad no? I didn't know marriage was like this. Poor girl. I was happy at first. I thought it was normal. Yeah, because that's Islam. What did Dad say? He said that this is your husband and you should listen to him and your in-laws. How could you do this to your daughter, dude? How the hell you could? So you couldn't say no. Did you wear a white dress? Were you happy? Yes, but I was scared. She's on TV. What were you afraid of at the age of 13? I was afraid of marriage. Poor girl, man. I have a 14-year-old, 12-year-old. I swear to you, only the Lord would stop me in His mercy from killing them or being killed. You come near my daughters, I'm taking you out by the power of Jesus Christ. Did you know what happens between a husband and a wife after their wedding? He's asking her. Poor girl. Who told you? The teacher taught me. See there, you got a teacher about sex. Which class? 6th grade. What did you learn? I learned about animals that come together to have babies and how they grow. And that's how you knew what should happen that day? Man, this guy's shocked. Yes, look at the guy's reaction. And my family taught me. My mom and my cousin taught me. Did it happen that day or was it delayed? It was delayed a bit. Why? You did not want it? I didn't. I was very scared. Poor girl, man. How the hell did you touch this girl? And you started to suffer since? Did you prefer to stay with mom and dad? She goes, yes. Look, she's crying. How do you do this to your daughter, man? May God damn you, you filthy father, you scum. Would you have preferred that they didn't marry you? How did you start your day in the morning routine? What did you start doing? In the morning we wake up, we clean, we do the laundry and cook. A 12-year-old, you believe it? Then my husband comes, we serve him food, and my sister-in-law's husband too. And my uncle as well. After that, we do the laundry again. By that time, it's noon. We have to cook lunch, clean, and wash. Then we rest for a while. Poor girl, man. In the evening, we clean again. And by the end of the night, I have to be ready for my husband. Did you hear that? Are you forced to do all of this? I'm now a woman. A woman must do all this. You see the brainwashing? And at night, I have to be ready for my husband. Are you forced? Well, I'm a woman, and a woman has to do this. And if you didn't want to, the girl can't say no. Did you see it? The guy is shocked, man. Look at his face. He's like, what? Diary of a 13-year-old child? Look. What happens if she says no? What do they do to her? Look. They beat her. They beat her. So in order not to be beaten, she has to say yes? Yes. And if she's beaten...
Can I say something? Actually, that's another huge thing that's...
Oh, goodness. Don't tell me. Oh, no, it's light beating. Don't do it, honey. I'm about to throw myself out the window, honey.
No. One of my other sisters, she's not very, like not into it all the time or in the mood. And her husband tells her that like the angels are cussing her all night because she denied her husband. And
yeah, that's in the hadiths. Yeah, I want to get there. Muhammad said that the angels curse a woman who doesn't sleep with her husband. He's getting it from Muhammad. You didn't know that? That's from Muhammad? Honey, you didn't know that Muhammad taught it? That's in the hadiths?
It just didn't feel like something real.
But it's Islam. The hadiths say, Muhammad says, when a man beckons his wife to bed and she refuses, the angels curse her till morning. Yeah. You ready for me to play it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, watch how disgusting it gets. Mary, you've been very good, Mary. You haven't said much. I know you're itching to say something, but it's okay, sister. Because if she has an education, she can work and won't need to rely on her husband. Yes, see? That's why I don't educate her. What's your husband's name? Now look at this filthy bastard. His name is Muhammad, like my dad. Named Muhammad. Did you love him before getting married? I didn't know him. I didn't know him. You didn't know him? No. When did you see him for the first time? When they proposed to me. So the first time you saw him was on the engagement day? Yes. What was your reaction when you saw him? Look. At first I was just scared and confused. You hear that, ladies? Were you able to change your mind? No. Here's this bastard. Look at this demon. This ugly looking, filthy gorilla. He's got ears like Dumbo. This ugly, filthy demon. This satanic bastard. Look at him, guys. Why did you marry her? To build a family. And I took her young to raise her myself. And he's smiling. Excuse me? I took her young to raise her myself. What does it mean to raise her yourself? This way we get to understand each other. Tell me, how do you raise your wife? We understand each other while we're young. What do you expect from us as your wife? Stupid. You should listen to what I say. Like what? What do you want as a husband? What do you exactly need? Whatever I say, she should listen. Like what? To wash, clean, do all the chores. Right? Prepare warm water for me and to serve my family. And he's smiling, this ugly bastard. To serve your family? Why are you preparing hot water for yourself? Why aren't you doing it? I prepare it if I want to. I'm smiling. Then why don't you? Why do you ask that of her? Because she's my wife. There you go. So when I tell you these commands of the Quran are not theory, they're not theory. When I tell you, you better be crying and your heart break for Muslim women and children. This is Muhammad. He's worse than Hitler. You must hate him like you hate Satan. Because there are actually young girls who are being violated in the name of Muhammad and his God. Right now as we speak, you gotta hate this religion, guys. You can't justify this. Now, did you see it? Sister, Hanny, now you can ask me what you want, or if you want me to show you now 65 form what the scholars say about it.
Yeah, that's... I know it's so bad.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an article quoting all the scholars on 65 verse 4, okay? And you're going to get disgusted about 65 verse 4. All right, commentary on the Quran. Here it is. And then if you want to talk about how the Quran allows the jihadis in Afghanistan, the Taliban, or Nigeria, Boko Haram, or in Syria, when they do jihad, to take women, even married women, and rape them and sell them, I can show you that as well. It's happening. It's not a theory. It's not past. It's now. Here's the article. I'm going to send it to you in private chat. You see why the Muslims hate us? Because we're showing how filthy this religion is. Pray that God gives us many years to obliterate Islam for the glory of the Father, Son, and Spirit. Now, here is the verse. We give you multiple translations, and then those who try to sugarcoat it, and then the Muslim scholars. So here you go, 65:4. Watch. And for those who have not yet menstruated, and that also applies to those who have not yet menstruated, their iddah, as well as of those who have not yet menstruated, and of those too who have not had their courses. Why? Hilali Khan. And for those who have no courses, they are still immature. Okay? Now some translations try to soften it, but we show why they're lying. Now watch. Notice Bukhari, in explaining this verse, Surah Al-Talaq 65:4, an example of young girls who were married, who hadn't had their periods. What does Bukhari give as an example? Those who have not yet menstruated. What is the example given? Aisha. A man giving his young children in marriage. By the words of Allah, that also applies to those who have not yet menstruated. And he made the iddah of a girl before puberty 3 months. And who's the example? Aisha. Here, right here. It is related from Aisha that the Prophet married her when she was 6 years old, consummate when she was 9, and she was his wife for 9 years. There you go. Now, the greatest scholars of Sunni Islam. Here is Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani in his commentary on Fath al-Bari. And those who haven't menstruated yet, he made the waiting period 3 months for those who haven't menstruated yet. Why? Which indicates that giving her into marriage before puberty is permissible. Damn. All right, what about Tafsir ibn Kathir? Allah clarifies the waiting period of the woman in menopause, and that is the one whose menstruation has stopped due to her old age. Her iddah is 3 months instead of the 3 monthly cycles for those who menstruate, which is based upon the ayah, chapter 2, verse 228. Now watch here. The same for the young who have not yet reached the years of menstruation. Okay, I'm just going to read the bold parts where it says that this verse refers to girls who are premature, haven't had their periods, who can be married, and you can have sex with them. And also for those who have not yet menstruated because of their young age. Who said that? The two Jalals, Tafsir al-Jalalain. Here's a commentary attributed to Ibn Abbas, Muhammad's cousin. Tanwir al-Mikbas min Tafsir Ibn Abbas. Here, they're asking Muhammad the question. What about the waiting period of those who do not have menstruation because they are too young? Along with those who have it not because of young age, their waiting period is 3 months. All right, what about Asbab al-Nuzul by Al-Wahdi? Okay, what does he say? What is the waiting period of the woman who does not menstruate and the woman who's not menstruated yet? Well, look what he says. He said, those who are too young, such that they have not started menstruating yet. That includes them as well. All right, Tafsir al-Kabir by Al-Razi. And those who have not menstruated yet. What does that refer to? A man stood and asked, O Messenger of Allah, what is the period of the young girl who has not menstruated yet? And he says, oh, 3 months. Are you still not convinced? Tafsir al-Qurtubi. And those who have not menstruated, meaning the young girl.
Okay, you can stop.
What?
I get it. I can't hear any more of this.
Okay, good. I'm glad. But you got the article to silence your friend who's going to lie to you, right?
Yeah.
You're disgusted from the pit of your stomach?
Yeah, I have a headache from how bad this is.
Good. We want you to leave.
The debate kicks off with Shamoun presenting some challenging points about what he views as immoral practices in Islam, focusing on certain hadiths, historical incidents, and aspects of Islamic law. His goal is to highlight practices he believes are problematic by today's moral standards, especially around women's rights, marriage, and other sensitive topics. Sam doesn't hold back in his critique, and his style is direct and provocative. As you can see where Sam starts by showing her where it was written in the Quran that her prophet got married to a young girl when she was 6 years old and have sex with her when she was 9 years old, so why would you stay in that kind of religion? As the debate goes on, she found it inheriting to her with the kind of laws and rule the Islam give in the marriage and others. The Muslimah, female Muslim debater, responds with a calm but firm defense. She argues that many of the issues Sam raises are either misunderstood or taken out of context. She explains that Islam's teachings need to be viewed within the historical and cultural context in which they were revealed. She emphasizes that Islamic morality is holistic, focusing on justice, compassion, and the dignity of all individuals, especially women. She also points out that modern standards of morality can't always be applied to historical situations without a deep understanding of the context. At this point, Sam asked her some questions which she could respond to it. This will tell that Islam is not the real religion for someone to be. The emotional part of the debate comes when Sam presses on certain topics, and the Muslimah becomes visibly frustrated or upset. It's clear she's passionate about her faith and feels that Sam is being unfair in his presentation of Islamic teachings. Her frustration might be where the disgusted part of the title comes in. She's likely upset by the way Sam frames his arguments, as they come across as harsh critiques of her deeply held beliefs. Overall, the debate is a classic example of two people coming from very different worldviews. Sam Shamoun is critiquing Islam from an outsider's perspective, focusing on practices he finds morally questionable, while the Muslimah is defending her faith by explaining the context and wisdom behind these practices. Wow, that was definitely an emotional and heated debate. Shamoun didn't pull any punches, but the Muslimah debater gave a passionate defense of her faith, trying to explain the nuances behind the topics raised. What do you guys think? Did Sam raise legitimate concerns, or did the Muslimah effectively defend Islam from misrepresentation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.